everybody, and welcome to my channel. I'm Justina, creator of Bohemian Magic Studios, and welcome back for yet another Samhain video in my spooky Halloween series. If you guys have been following my channel, you would have seen that I just recently released a really cool video on how to make salt dough Ouija board planchettes. Hi, we have a special guest. Hello. Hi. What's up, oops? You want to say hi to all our friends? What's up? What are you doing? Oh, we have two special guests. That's just life with two cats, guys. So if you guys have been following my channel, you might have seen the Ouija board salt dough planchettes that I made. And this is what they look like. It's just salt dough and a little crystal. I get these little gems from the dollar store, and then you can just like paint and embellish them and make them look really cool. And then actually this one doesn't have it on here. I ripped them off to like reheat in the oven to harden them up. But they actually have little felt gliding pads, so they glide around the board really nicely. But this is what they look like, and you can see how to make these salt dough Ouija board planchettes on your own right in the info cards up here. I never know which side that's on, but you can watch how I make them in my YouTube video and make them yourself at home. I just think they're so cute. I used a little washi tape up here, and I just decorated them with rhinestones and paints, and yeah, I did a little dry brushing. So you can see how I make them all on my video. So check that out. But you can't use a Ouija board planchette without a Ouija board. So I really wanted to do a follow-up video and make my own Ouija board, and I did actually make my own Ouija board if you guys saw in that video. It's just a digital file. It's a printable. You can find this on my $1 tier on Patreon. You can print these out, but it is just a piece of paper. You can put these in your book of shadows, or what I'm going to do today, I will be showing you how I create my own actual wooden Ouija board. I did not do any wood cutting. Don't worry about that. If you're not handy with a saw or any kind of power tools, no stress, no mess, no fuss. We are going to cheat a little bit, and I am going to show you how. Just hit up your local Michael's craft supply store. They sell the boards already made. I'm not sure what size this is. It's probably a little less than 8.5 by 11, because this page right here is 8.5 by 11, and it is a little big for this, so I'm going to have to size it down just a tad, but then I'm going to reprint it, and I'm actually going to glue it on this board today. It already has the little riveted edges, so I'm going to paint some gold. I'm going to glue on some rhinestones and embellish this a little more, because this is just a piece of paper. And I mean, although you could put this in your book of shadows as is and just open up the book to the page with this on it if you want to do a little ghostly divination this Halloween season. But I wanted to go the extra mile, be a little bit more extra, and create my very own Ouija board. That's what I will be doing today. And once again, you can find the digital file for this very Ouija board that I designed on my Patreon for just $1. And here's a little pattern for the planchettes to make your salt dough, and those are also available on my Patreon page, so check that out. And you can find that on patreon.com/Bohemian Magic Studios, as well as the template and recipe card for how to make these Ouija board planchettes. So it's kind of like a little bundle that I created this Samhain season, so you guys can get your Ouija on and ghostly divination practice on, but just make sure you're protecting yourself, you're, you know, saging or cleansing before you do any kind of ghostly work. Just putting that out there. Just a disclaimer, use this at your own discretion, because, you know, it is a novelty in a lot of cases, and we see Ouija patterns and prints everywhere during this season. And they do sell these in toy stores. God knows why. You have to be 18 to buy a pack of cigarettes or 21 to buy some alcohol, but you only have to be 8+ to summon some demons. So use this at your own discretion, guys. It's more of a conversational piece to me. I really just like love the look of these and the whole mystifying factor of these, and kind of the origins. Like, where did it come from? How did it start? What is so fascinating about the unknown, and what kind of forces these things bring into one's life? So yeah, just use them at your own discretion. But today I will be making them, and from here on out, it's just gonna be me making art, and I will show you how I put together my very own spooky Ouija board. Well, thank you guys so much for watching today. Say thank you, Punky. Thank you. Say thank you to all your new fans. Ouch. Okay, bye. Thank you so much for watching my channel today, guys. Have a very happy Halloween, happy spooky season, Merry Samhain. I hope it's filled with lots of spirits, good laughs, good fun. Stay safe if you're going trick-or-treating and doing all that fun stuff. But if you're watching this channel, you're probably way too old to even be trick-or-treating. So yeah, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys on my channel again very soon. After this video, we're probably gonna get more into holiday stuff come November, and then also I do have a couple other video ideas in store that I want to share with you guys, and I do want to do an official video on introducing this guy because I have not done that yet, and I do want to show you guys and tell you guys, don't eat the salt dough please. I do want to tell you guys how I found him and his whole backstory, and I know you guys are probably waiting on that a little bit, probably thinking, who is this orange cat that's in the videos all of a sudden? But that's it for today, guys, and I hope to see you back on this channel very soon for some upcoming videos. So check out BohemianMagicStudios.com for more tips and tricks on how to live a magical life, and check out Patreon.com/BohemianMagicStudios for all of my printables and my goodies and all my templates. Some of the stuff you see on this channel that I create, but also some exclusive stuffs for my patrons only. So with that said, I will see you guys very soon. From here on out, let's create some Ouija boards, guys. See you soon. Bye. Okay, everybody, so here I have my paper Ouija board, which you can download this Ouija board design, my original Ouija board design. This is available on my Patreon for $1. You could check that out at patreon.com/BohemianMagicStudios. The file that I have up there is 8.5 by 11. I resized this to fit this board. This board is kind of an odd size. This is about, I want to say 8 by 10 3/4. So I did resize the 8.5 by 11 file to fit this board, so I printed it out. It should be printed out to size. I did a couple test runs just to see, but that's the thing, it's a digital file, so you can actually resize this to whatever you need it to be, and you can resize this in your printing settings. Before you go to print, there's usually a percentage rate to see how big you want it to be, so you can make it bigger, you can make it smaller. It all depends on what board you are working with and what board you want to fasten it to. So just keep that in mind when printing these out. You might have to do some resizing in order to fit it on perfectly onto whatever you want to glue it to. And that's just one way to do it. This is cardstock, so I will be using cardstock today with my Mod Podge method. So I'll be getting a little messy, but you can also do it with label paper. You could just print it right on label paper, peel the back off, and stick it to the surface of whatever you want to do. But today I will be doing Mod Podge and gluing it down, and we will be embellishing it with a lot of cool stuff that I have. I am going to be painting the sides and make it look a little fancy, so I do have lots of metallic paint. I have some antique gold, I have copper, and this one's royal gold, but these are like really super metallic-y, so I might use one of these. I'm thinking the copper might look the nicest because it matches the art more. I also have some black glitter, which I might do a little black glittering in the web areas on the corners, keeping in mind that we want the planchette to move around smoothly, so not just going too crazy on, you know, making things a little bumpy. But one thing that I do have that I really want to add is this really gorgeous gold leafing. And I think this is going to really make it magical looking and very antique looking. So I'm super excited to add gold leafing. This one has some copper in it, but then I also have standard gold as well. So I'm really not sure which way I want to go yet. We'll see when we get to that. And also I have some rhinestones and some gems. I really love how the red looks. So I might do that, you know, around the edges, just again, making sure that I don't get in the way of the planchette moving around the letters. If I do add rhinestones, I might do it, you know, on top or in the corners, away from wherever the planchette is supposed to go on the board. So I have gems, rhinestones, glitter, paint, gold leafing. So we're gonna get creative here. We're gonna do these up nice. So I guess the first order of business would be to cut this exactly to size so we can fit it to the corners of the board. So we are going to get out our handy dandy paper cutter right now. So then, unfortunately, these sides I will have to use scissors. I could use an X-Acto blade, but I don't know where my X-Acto blade is right now. So I'm just gonna cut these two sides and then we'll see how it looks on the board. All right, so our paper is all cut out. So now we're going to grab our board and you guys will see that it should fit perfectly. There might be a little overlap. Yeah, there's like a teeny bit of overlap, but that's okay because when we glue it down, we're just gonna glue that down too. Okay, so the first order of business, I would say, as I'm going to paint around the edges, I'm going to do that in black. And then maybe we'll do some dry brushing, highlighting. Ew. Okay. So this is dry for the most part. So now I'm going to take my bristly brush and we're going to start dry brushing around the edges. And I think I'm gonna go with the copper since it seems to match the best with the aesthetic I have going on here. And I don't know, maybe I'll do a mix of these two because I have copper and I have antique gold. Those are the edges. Now we have our paper and we're going to glue this on. So we have our brush and I have some Mod Podge glue here. I could definitely use some new Mod Podge glue. This is pretty old. Not the consistency I want. It's a little snotty, I'm not gonna lie. I'm going to just start brushing this like so. Alright, so our cardstock has been added or mounted to our board. I think that looks so cute, but that is only the beginning of it, you guys, because we are going to now embellish this. I think I'm going to do some black glitter on the letters and then around the spider webs. And then maybe some clear glitter on the moon faces. We're not gonna seal this in yet. We're gonna wait until everything is embellished and stuff. And I think I'm gonna do some gold leafing, and then I'm gonna seal it with this. And then the very last thing we'll do is hot glue the rhinestones around the board. And then that will be it. And then on the back, we're gonna paint this all black, and then we're going to add some either those felt bumpers or maybe some gems on the bottom to act as the little feet. So we're back some time later, and we have glued the photo to the board. So now we can start embellishing. I think I'm gonna start doing some like flecks. I have my metallic paint here, and I also have some gold leafing. So I'm gonna start adding some detailing. So this part is actually extremely tedious, but I think it's well worth it in the end. I decided to go around each letter with my metallic gold paint, and it just gives it that little bit of shimmer when it hits the light. Now I am adding some spots and flecks in my copper metallic paint to emulate pixie dust that is already in my design. I think we're gonna try some gold leafing. I really like this one that has all the copper flecks in it. I do have this one that's just gold. This one seems to match better because of the copper. So let's see how this goes. This can get kind of messy. So we have some Mod Podge glue here. Grab a nice colorful piece. Hey, stop chewing on my brushes. Get out of here. Get out of here. No. Nope. 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 some blue and some copper and some red tones in there. It's looking really cool, looking really pretty. I think it translates better when you see it in person. In camera, it just looks like a bunch of blobs all over the place, but like in person, it just adds like a really cool shimmer effect, and it looks like super antique. So I'm really digging that. All right, so I'm pretty much done with all of my gold leafing. I think it looks really pretty and gives it that antique kind of aesthetic. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to actually seal it with my Mod Podge glue, and this is just going to give it a nice clear coat and a little bit of a shine, and it's going to seal in all of this gold leafing so it doesn't further get ruined, because right now if you like scratch it with your nail, some of this will come off. So this is just going to seal it in to protect it. And then one thing that I do want to mention is that eventually I am going to add the black glitter. If I add the black glitter right now and then I Mod Podge on top of that, the Mod Podge is actually going to dull the glitter and it's not going to glisten anymore. So I'm going to add that after I do the Mod Podge coat over the whole board. And then I also found these cute little stars that I might add around my celestial elements, and maybe a couple around the moons down here. But I'm going to freehand these little swirlies in the black glitter once I do my whole coat in the gloss. So I did one coat kind of sporadically. I kind of tried to like dab on the glue over the gold leaf with my finger, because I found that the brush was a little too abrasive and it was kind of starting to break up the gold leaf, and I didn't want that to happen. So I dabbed on over the gold leaf with my finger, and I'm letting that coat dry now. But as you can see, there are still some dry spots on the board where I didn't hit with the Mod Podge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this coat dry first, so then I can kind of see like what spots I missed, and then I'm going to do like another coat over all of that. And once all of that is dry, I can start adding my black glitter, which I might do some around the edges of the board, and then maybe freehand some on here where the little swirlies are. I am going to seal the sides of the board with the Mod Podge as well, and then on the back we're going to paint this black, and then also we're gonna glue some jewels to the bottom so they can be the little feet. So then when this thing stands, it's kind of like raised a little bit. So let's let this dry first. All right, so this is pretty much dry for the most part, but you can see kind of like where I missed with the glue. So I'm gonna go over all the spots that I missed, and then I'm gonna let that dry again. So I thought now would be as good a time as any during this very long time lapse to tell you a little bit of a story about the Ouija board. When I was around 12 years old, I had a Halloween party, and I actually ended up asking my friend to borrow her Ouija board. She was invited to the party, but she couldn't make it for reasons I don't remember. We were 12, I know, we had really big plans. But she let me borrow her Ouija board, and so the night of the party happens, and you know, we're hanging out, doing stuff that 12-year-olds do at parties, playing bobbing for apples, pin the tail on the whatever. And I just remember that, you know, there was about 20 kids at this party or so, and it was a little garage, and all the parents were outside in the kitchen just hanging out and, you know, doing stuff parents do, drinking coffee, whatever. So we're in the garage doing our little kid party and bobbing for apples, and then, you know, I decided to bring out the Ouija board that my friend let me borrow. Now, the way that this garage was set up was we had a table of food and drinks and stuff set up at the back of the garage, which was against basically the garage door, but it was shut, so it was a wall at that point. So we had all the stuff set up there, and that table was adorned with strings of like white or orange Halloween Christmas lights, and then we only had one other light in the room, which was a bulb on the ceiling, which was activated by a switch on the wall right by the door. Now this light bulb was a black light responsive light bulb, so it's kind of like purplish in hue, so it's not the intensity that you get from an actual light bulb. So we did have this light switch in the on position, and we had this black light on throughout our party without it being that harsh regular light that you get from a regular light bulb. So it was dark enough in this party to, you know, just be spooky and haunted, but it was enough light to see what we were doing over the Ouija board. So here we are, like 20 kids huddled around this Ouija board, and I don't even remember the questions we asked it. This was so long ago, but what I do remember is that the black light over us went completely out, and we all looked at the light switch that it was activated by on the wall. Nobody was standing by it, and it was still in the on position, so just the light had gone out. And all the lights in the back of by the food table, all the Christmas Halloween lights that we had strung up, I believe those were still on when all of that went down. But you can imagine 20 kids huddled around a Ouija board, and the light above you, right above you, goes out with no explanation, and the light switch is actually still on. It freaked us out, to say the least. So here come 20 kids pouring out of the garage and into the kitchen, just screaming our little heads off. And all the parents are like, what's going on? Like, what? Why are you screaming? What happened? Is everything okay? And, we told them about the Ouija board and that, the lights went out and that we got spooked. And my aunt was there, who has had her own experiences with Ouija boards, and she always tells me, even to this day, to not play with Ouija boards. She has so many stories about, how it unleashed something in her house. So she caught wind that we were playing with the Ouija board in the house, and she totally freaked out. And to much embarrassment in front of my friends, she took it out of my hands, walked it outside, out of the side door, and just threw it right over the fence into the grass. And she told me to leave it there and don't bring it back in the house. And I did. I left it there all night. Not gonna lie, I was actually pretty scared of it, so I didn't have any, objection to that demand, but I did have to explain to my friend the next day when I gave it back to her that my aunt made me throw it over the fence and it laid in the wet grass all night. So yeah, I'm pretty sure she was thrilled about that, but I don't really remember. It was so long ago, again, like I said. It's just funny. It's just one of those memories that sticks out in my mind, and to this day we get a good laugh about that whole story, about how my aunt made me throw the Ouija board over the side of the fence, even though it was alone, it was not mine. She did not care one bit. She just wanted that thing out of the house. So that's the story, and it actually does come full circle because my aunt, she does a lot of stationery work, and she works with like papered goods. She makes greeting cards and birthday cards and wedding invitations, and she actually helped us with our wedding invitations, and our RSVP cards were actually Ouija boards, so we got a good laugh out of that. Okay guys, so I'm in the home stretch of designing this Ouija board. So we did all of our black glitter detailing. I did the filigree on the corners of the board. I did the very fine black line around the edge of the board. And I did just the header letters and the bottom letters. The rest of the letters I really didn't bother doing too much into that. The last things that we're gonna do is add some of our celestial detail glitter, and then I'm gonna heat up my glue gun, and we are going to add our rhinestones, and that will be the final finishing touch on our mystical magical Ouija board. Alright, so now I'm going to heat up my handy dandy glue gun, and we're going to get moving on some gems. Alright, so I was just going through my little bag of tricks here. I have a bunch of little embellishments and rhinestones and stuff. Well, first of all, I have multiple sizes of these red rhinestones because we use these for our wedding invitations and we didn't use all of, what I had bought. So I do have some left over in multiple sizes, so I'll probably play around with the red ones a lot. I also found these really pretty blue ones, which might look really cool. So I'll probably mix and match these. And then also in my arsenal of tools, I found these little charming embellishments. So I'm probably going to use the celestial ones. I have stars and moons here. Probably save this one for another project, like these bigger moons, but this little sun and this little moon, those probably might look good like right around here. So yeah, I'm just waiting for my glue to heat up. It's looking like it's pretty good to go. So let's just get embellishing, guys. Alright guys, so my Ouija board is all done being embellished. I put all the rhinestones on and all the little charms and stuff. And I'm really happy with how this came out. So now all that's left to do is we need to finish the back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe this down. We're going to take this little tag off here. So I'm gonna wipe this down and then we're gonna paint this all black, let that dry, and then what I'm gonna do is hot glue on my little marble gems. Those are gonna be our little feet. So let's do that now. Alright, so our black paint is dry for the most part. We are done with the front. Now we are just going to take our little legs, which are these little gems, and we're just going to glue them to the corners like so, and those are going to just act as little legs so our board has something to stand on. Okay guys, so our Ouija board is officially done, so I think what we could do right now is I think we should take it on a little bit of a test run. Let's see how this works.
Okay, let's ground and center and call in all spirits who wish to commune with me today. Dearly departed, please come forward and give me a message from the other side. Show me how I can help you. F. Okay, maybe it's a friendly ghost. Alright, let's try this again. F. E. Alright, now this is really picking up. This is strange. Maybe it's just my imagination. F. E. E. Maybe it feels scared. I know I'm pretty scared right now. Okay, Jess, don't get too all up in your head about this. Just a game. D. Feed. Okay, so you're a hungry ghost. Or maybe you're the ghost of the last houseplant I killed. Lord knows there's a lot of those. Oh, an M. Okay, this is really starting to creep me out. Is this reading my mind? Stop it, Jess. This is a game for 8-year-olds. I can totally handle this. Oh, what? Wait, what? E? Feed me? Feed me?
Silly human, don't you know, as you're familiar, I have the power to intercept your subconscious and all communication with the spiritual realm. Quit playing your silly parlor games, and would you open the can of pate? I'm starving.
Oh, thank God. Coraline, you scared the crap out of me.
She's right, you know. It's 11:15, almost time for second breakfast.
Alright, let's go feed you little rascals.
Thank you so much to my patrons for making these videos possible. Megan Baker, Dee Carubia, Michelle Zeman, Rachel Carter, Alyssa Wilson, Shelley Hitch, Kelsey Wood, Caitlin Morris, Heather Johnson, Jessica Fronrath, Jen Reichley, Anne McLaughlin, Nitty Y. Speller, Kelly Skelly, Krista Rimmer, Jeannie Marie Clark, B. West, Grace Felton, Jennifer Lee, Casey Florals, Kendra Hasketh, Jana Corbell, Paige Bellini, Lady Raven Moon, and Ashley McSedney. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and if you like this content, please be sure to comment, rate, and subscribe, as it really helps out my channel. See you next time, and have a very spooky Happy Halloween! Get my digital original Ouija board design, Salta recipe card, and Ouija planchette template bundle on my $1 printables tier only on Patreon. Become a patron today at patreon.com/Bohemian Magic Studios.